What the
Hi,
fuck? What
this
the
is
fuck is
Poppy
that
Dog.
noise?
This is Poppy.
It's the noise that dog is making.
Yeah,
That just.
dude, you should hear her when she's like full on mouth breathing, and you're sitting
Come
there trying to watch a movie, and like the dialogue
here.
is like,
What about when you're trying to be romantical? You're trying to be some romantical, and I hear it.
dude, it sounds like a pig oinking underneath the bed.
Wait. You do the nasty with the dog in the room?
No,
I'm about to say, I kicked Jules out expeditiously, dog. She ain't there to watch.
Miss
Jules,
Poppy.
come here. Jules, you want to see a dog? Come here.
Hi, and
Come on,
welcome
jump
to
up.
the MattCast podcast. I am Maddie
Oh.
Light, joined by my co-host Maddie J. We're at our own respectable houses because there was a snowstorm that came through, and
How
yeah,
much snow did you get?
we got like 5-6 inches.
What?
Yeah,
It didn't even stick to our sidewalks.
dude, yeah, like we were out there shoveling and like it got up into like pretty big mounds of snow. Yeah.
That's crazy. I know it was really nasty out there west by Gretna, and that's where they're closing down I-80 and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But us, dude, like, it wasn't sticking to the roads, wasn't sticking to the sidewalks. I would say we barely got 2 inches over here in Bellevue.
What? Yeah,
I
no, I
swear.
I stuck my middle finger with into the snow and it wasn't even touching the bottom. And there was still some good
Wow.
space. Yeah. Oh, I got another dog over here. Zinni. Oh, she just ran away. Ugh. Zinnichino left.
Hmm.
Didn't want to get spotlighted.
Yeah.
Oh, there's yep. There's Zinnichino. Zinni, come here. Come here. Come here. Come here.
Yeah, Jules is looking all pathetic over there. She won't come over here and say hello.
Come here. All right. Well, you can still see her.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, kind of sorry for taking the week off from last week, but with conference championship week coming up, we thought, all right, cool. There might be a bit more content coming up with March Madness showing up now. I sat there and watched pretty much every single Big 12 conference game, and I loved it. Every single game of it. Dude,
Well, I watched one game. I watched Duke versus North Carolina, dude, and that game was insane.
I can imagine. I wish I'd watched that one, but yeah. I was stuck watching Iowa
You
State.
watched every conference championship game except for that one?
No, just Iowa State's. Or the Big 12.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I only watched the Big 12s.
I thought you did all of them across the
No, if I could watch all of them at the same time, like, I would not work at all. Which, I'm thinking for next year. So, like, I'm taking a week vacation coming up here at the end of March. I'm thinking for next year, I'm going to take, like, 2-3 weeks off just for Conference Championship week and the first 2 rounds of, of March Madness. And
No,
that's
you're
going to be my
not.
yearly
Right.
vacation. That will be my yearly
You're not.
vacation. Never
No,
take a
you won't.
vacation except for that.
No, you won't, because people are gonna get married, and you're not gonna like. Cause what? I'm gonna get married here, maybe a little bit, and what? You're gonna like? Oh no, dude. If it's not during that 2 to 3 week window, I'm not coming down. I'm sorry,
Dude, I'll
not
be there.
happening.
But like I'm saying like I'm going to take my big because like there's no PTO with my current job. It's
No
just take your
PTO?
just take off time. You just miss those
You're
days.
not. Are you full time?
Yeah.
What benefits do you get? Like, do you just get
Health insurance and 401k.
You just get health insurance 401k. You don't get dental or eye vision.
Oh
Or...
yeah, no, I get dental and everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't have PTO. And they pay me for all my medical checkups.
They pay you for all your medical checkups?
Yeah, so like if I get my annual physical and everything like that, they give me money.
It's like you're still on the clock.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so March Madness it showed up. I made up my bracket. And I told you made up 2. All right, I only made up 1. And I did all of them. One of them I was kind of stuck on. Texas and Xavier. Either one of those two playing against Illinois. They're in the first 4 matchup right now. But looking at them compared to Illinois, I ended up choosing just Illinois over top. That's just me getting that out of the
Can you
way.
pull it up on the screen or no?
I can, yeah.
Just so people can see kind of
Yeah.
visual.
Can you see it or see it well?
Not very well. Very spaced out.
All right, so this is a little bit. Is this
That's
better?
better. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
All right, cool. All right, so yeah. All right, to start off in the South, I have Alabama beating Alabama or Auburn beating Alabama State.
Can I ask you a quick question first?
Huh?
Did you make a bracket where Iowa State wins it all?
Yeah.
Is this the current one that we're looking at?
Yep. It's the only one I made.
And that's in your heart of hearts what's going to happen.
Yes. All right. I have Louisville
Hold up.
losing the.
I'm not done looking.
Okay.
I'm still looking at you like in your heart of hearts,
Yes.
you think Iowa State is going to win March Madness.
Yeah.
Can we bet that as a podcast?
What are we putting on it?
If you don't want to do money, we could do like
'Cause
either
I
a
already
nice
put-
steak or we can either do like a nice steak dinner on the other one's behalf, or we can do a night out drinking on the other one's behalf. However much you want to drink, it all goes on my tab.
Let's just do steak dinner because I already put money on this on like the ESPN one. I put like
You
$5.
put money on the ESPN bracket that Iowa State's going to go all the way.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I
I will take you to whatever restaurant you want, and I'll buy you whatever steak you want, appetizer, drinks, whatever you want. If Iowa State wins it all.
Yep.
Okay.
Um.
Okay. And the only thing I ask for in return, if Iowa State doesn't, because there's a bigger chance of Iowa State not winning it all,
Mm-hmm.
I would say just let's say a 6-pack of beer. That's
Okay.
all I'm going to say.
Okay.
I think that's fairly even.
Yeah. So I have Creighton beating Louisville, and they are in Creighton. For as good as team as they are in a tough bracket. I'm just putting it like tough division because you also have Michigan in there. You have Texas A&M. You got North Carolina and Ole Miss. Iowa State.
Your opinion on North Carolina? I hear a lot of people saying that North Carolina doesn't deserve to be in there. They're only in there because their coach is a part of the committee that picks the teams, and that's how they made it in. Or did you not watch that much?
I looked at North Carolina's record and everything, and they're in a fairly competitive conference, and I think that weighed heavily into it, and I think that's why, if it's just because he's on the committee, that's wrong. They are definitely in a lower seed. I think they should have been a little bit lower than 11, like maybe 13 feels right. Not the worst, but definitely on the low end of it.
Okay, let's keep going.
So I have Michigan beating UC San Diego, Texas A&M beating Yale. I have North Carolina with the upset over Ole Miss. I think they're going to come into it because of all the controversy that's with it. They're like, "Ayo, we need to show up and show out, beat this higher seed, and get in there." Iowa State beating Lipscomb. Marquette beating New Mexico. And then Michigan State beating Bryant. With Michigan State beating Marquette. Iowa State beating North Carolina. Texas A&M beating Michigan. And then Auburn beating Creighton. Just because Auburn is the number one team in the country.
No,
they're extremely.
I'm alright with that.
Yeah.
No. That's not where I'm going to question you. Just keep going.
Auburn beating Texas A&M. Iowa State beating Michigan State. And then we'll hop into the West before we get to the Elite Eight. Florida State beating Norfolk. Or Florida beating Norfolk. UConn beating Oklahoma. Memphis beating Colorado State, Maryland beating Grand Canyon, Missouri beating Drake, Texas Tech versus winning over.
You don't have like a Cinderella story I'm seeing here.
No, some of the Cinderella teams I got them going a little bit farther, or like making it past the first round. I was just looking at competition of schedule and everything like that along the way, who they played. Like I looked at every team, their last five, their whole season and all,
Sure.
and I'm just like looking at the teams, the type of defenses they have or offenses. So, Mizzou and Drake, I almost wanted to pick Drake. But I think Mizzou has been there before. They know what they're doing, and they're gonna pull through on it. Texas Tech, seen Texas Tech play. They're a solid fucking team. They have fast pace, great defense, and they know how to rebound. That's why I have them over the top. This one I was a little bit conflicted on, KU and Arkansas. I ended up picking KU.
Actually, can we interrupt that real
Yeah.
quick? We just got done St. Patrick's Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe on your Snapchat story, or maybe you sent it into our group chat, you're in a chant at some bar.
Yep.
Saying
fuck
KU.
Yeah.
What was that recent? Was that recent or was that a memory? And
That was
if it
recent.
Was recent. What sprung that on?
Oh, it's I first noticed it when I went to a bar in Kansas, right, or in Manhattan, Kansas, when Mr. Brightside plays. Whenever it gets like, I'm Mr. Brightside, people just started chanting "fuck KU," and I'm like, oh, sick. And then we went out to the bars here on St. Patty's Day. Mr. Brightside played, and everybody started chanting "fuck KU." I'm like, we do it here too. I'm all about this shit. So like, I guess it's just a thing within the Midwest to just scream "fuck KU" at clubs and bars.
I've never heard of that.
Just whenever Mr. Brightside comes on. But yeah, fuck KU. And then I have St. John's beating UNO.
You're sleeping on UNO, man.
If UNO can pull out the miracle out of the hat, good on them. But then, you still have then you have KU to play against. You have Texas Tech, Maryland and UConn, or fucking Maryland, UConn, Florida, all in your fucking bracket. Baby. And you guys you guys are the 15 seed. I'm like, all right, if that happens,
let's go.
There are two teams that I'm willing to drop money, pull all the money out of my savings to go buy tickets. And that's UNO making the Cinderella story and Iowa State, all right?
Yeah. Yeah.
To try and buy tickets to the Last Dance, all right?
Yeah.
All right, Duke over, I don't even know who these two teams are. They're in the first four. Duke, easy win, just since they're getting Cooper Flag back by that point, too. Who was their dude that Cooper Flag, we sent a meme in 3-4 weeks ago of Cooper Flag whooping up on the USA team and got a dap by LeBron. And he's a freshman in college. Yeah. I got Baylor beating Mississippi State, or I almost wanted to pick Mississippi State, but I think Baylor's going to pull out on top of that one. Oregon beating Liberty. Seen Arizona play. Solid fucking team. They're going to beat Akron.
Bibbidi.
BYU over VCU. BYU's roster, after watching them play against Iowa State and then again during the tournament, dude, they have everybody on their team can shoot. Everybody can shoot threes. You let this team shoot threes, they are going to the championship. No doubt. You need to stop them from getting shooters out in the open. Wisconsin versus Montana. 100% Wisconsin. St. Mary's and Vanderbilt. I picked St. Mary's. And then Alabama against Robert Morris. Picked Bama. My upset, though, in... which one are we in? The East? I have Alabama losing to St. Mary's.
Hmm.
I
Want
think
to
St.
elaborate
Mary.
on it?
I think St. Mary's is um defense is a lot better than Alabama's. BYU beating Wisconsin, Arizona beating Oregon, and then Duke beating Baylor. Duke beating Arizona, and then BYU beating St. Mary's. In the Midwest, I got Houston winning over, yes, I don't know, Gonzaga beating Georgia, Clemson beating McNeese, Purdue versus High Point, Texas over whoever they play, or Illinois over Texas or Xavier, Kentucky over Troy, UCLA over Utah State, and then Tennessee over Wofford. Tennessee beating UCLA, Kentucky beating Illinois, Clemson beating Purdue, and then Houston over Gonzaga. And honestly, you could see Gonzaga beat Houston as well. They're a solid fucking team. Houston beating Clemson, Kentucky beating Tennessee. All right, so uh, all right, so the Elite Eight, where I have it at, I have Houston beating Kentucky, Duke beating BYU, UConn getting the upset win over Texas Tech, and then Iowa State getting the revenge upset over Auburn. And my reasoning for that is that we lost to them by 2 early in the season. We came back, we've been through hardships, and if they made it all the way this far to the Elite Eight, going up against a number one team and going out there for blood, should come out with the fucking right motivation to win. And then we have to go against UConn. UConn, like I said, solid team. I just don't think they have the greatest ability to turn the ball over like Iowa State does. Strictly on turnovers and rebounding, I think Iowa State pulls on that one. And then we got Duke and Houston. I picked Duke. And I was like, all right, should I be realistic? Like, I've already, like, on all of this, I was being realistic with Iowa State going up to the Final Four. On this one, should I be realistic? Is Duke just going to come out there and fucking mollywop Iowa State? And I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go with Iowa State winning.
A problem I see here is how many total points will be scored? 173.
Yep.
Okay.
Combining both teams, 173. That's like the
Have they
tiebreaker.
ever have they ever scored excuse me, have they ever played versus each other?
No, I don't believe so. And if they have, it was probably years ago. But yeah, that's like, I'm thinking both of them are scoring 80s, high 80s. Maybe even getting in the 90s on that one. So that's why I kind of went like somewhere between 80 and 90 points, per team. So I'm like 173 points. Let's just call it like that.
And you don't see this at all. So I guess if you're being realistic, because let's just say Iowa State does go on and win. How much of the rest of your bracket do you think is accurate?
Oh, there's no one's bracket is going to be 100% perfect. I don't think there's been a single person that's gotten a perfect bracket in like 30 years.
No, and I agree. That's why I'm asking you. Roughly, where do you think? All right, then let's just say, like, where do you think you're most likely going to go wrong? Like, what's the pick that you chose that you're like, this could be wrong, but I'm going to be okay with it?
Creighton, Louisville, 100%. If I'm Ole Miss, North Carolina, New Mexico, Marquette, could go wrong. Mizzou, Drake, KU, Arkansas, St. John's, fucking pulling out for the Mavs. Baylor, Mississippi. St. Mary's Vandy, Gonzaga, Georgia, Illinois, either if it's Texas or Xavier. And I'm also going to throw in UCLA and Utah. Now, I'm not going to go into all this shit just because that would break my whole bracket right off the rip.
Sure.
So, like, I'm just going to go off the first round stuff. So, like, there's.
And here, I'll let you do. I'll let you do if you can. I'll go use the restroom.
Okay.
Can you follow Iowa State's path and can you describe every game that they got to go versus and how they're going to win each of those games? Can you do that?
Okay.
Okay. You do that. I'm going to be right back.
So, let me pull up. All right, I'm going to close this out so I can focus on this. Let me get up ESPN real quick. Yep. All right, so Iowa State Lipscomb. Just looking at Lipscomb's Lipscomb. So they finish off number 1 in the ASUN conference, 14-4, overall 25-9. Looking at who they played Arkansas, lost by 16. Played WKU, lost by 6. They also played against Kentucky, 97-68. Trying to look for anybody of value. Yeah, the only game of value, or the two that they played, was Arkansas and UK, and both of them were pretty devastating losses. Got North Carolina, 23-13 overall record. They finished They finished 6th in their conference. All right, so they lost to KU, 92-89. Kept it fucking close. Lost to Auburn, 85-72. Lost to Michigan State, who's also in, 94-91. Lost to Alabama, 94-79. Lost to Florida, 98-84. Lost to Louisville, 83-70. Lost to Stanford, 72-71. Kept that one close. And also lost to Wake Forest, 67-66. Lost to Pitt, Duke, Clemson, Duke again, and Duke again in the, I'm going to say the conference championship. Or we're just before the semifinals. They played a lot of good teams, but also the teams they beat. They beat Notre Dame, SMU. Yeah, FSU and Miami. Yeah, I just think the teams they've lost to, it's teams that Iowa State has been competitive with. Might have lost, but have been competitive with that same caliber of teams. So, North Carolina. And then Auburn. All right, so Auburn, I already said it before. We played against them already before, second game of the season. Ended up losing by 1 or 2. Kept it really tight with the number 1 team in the fucking country. And I think that says it enough. If we're able to make it this far into the Elite 8 and then go up against Auburn, they're going to push through and pull away with the win on that one, coming out for revenge. And then going up against UConn.
Suck on my dick.
Where's UConn at?
worry, I got something for that joke.
All right, so UConn.
Suck on my dick.
They lost to Memphis 99-97. Lost to Colorado 73-72. Lost to Dayton 85-67. They beat Gonzaga. They lost to Villanueva 68-66. Lost to Creighton 68-63. They lost to St. John's 68-62. Lost to Hall 69-68. St. John's again 89-75. And then lost to Creighton in the Big East Conference Finals 71-62. And just going off that again, like the teams they played against, the caliber of teams, I think it's highly realistic to beat up on UConn. Now, Duke is a little bit different of a story. Duke has been a solid team all year round. They've only lost to UK, KU, and Clemson. But they also play Clemson a good deal of times throughout the year. I think they played 2 or 3 times against Clemson. Oh, no, I'm wrong.
You ready to
All right,
move
cool.
on from Mass? What's that?
Well, all right, cool. I wanted to hear your bracket.
Dude, you pull it up. I send it into the oh shit, I just sent it into the Instagram. If you go into the Instagram and you go in between the chats between my account and the our Instagram account, they're in there, but like I had one bracket that UNO won it all, and I had one bracket that Creighton won it all. I know shit about basketball. I don't think anyone wants to hear my takes. Like, it's not gonna be worth anyone's time. I say we move on.
All right, well, all right, so this was the other thing. Do we want to create another bracket together and just come up with something off the walls? Like, it's not going to be picking our favorite teams or anything like that. It's going to be strictly what we think would be funny, whatever the fuck, right? And we'll kind of talk each other through like what we think. Like, you know, I'll put in some of my own analytical stuff. You'll just put out there your good vibes, all right?
Yes.
And then we'll come to a conclusion. Kind of like how we did with the playoffs for the NFL and college football.
Alabama State.
Alabama State.
Auburn.
You think so?
Yes.
All right, we're going to send it. We're going to send Alabama State. Louisville, Creighton. I already know you're thinking Creighton.
I'm actually thinking Louisville.
You're thinking Louisville?
I got family in Louisville. Lamar Jackson. You know,
That's your family
going on right now. No, he's not. I mean, I would take him in like family. If you got
would?
nowhere else to go.
All right, we're gonna go Louisville then. Michigan, UC San Diego.
Here, one second. Hey, Josh. I'm just letting you know. You can keep telling your story. You are being a little loud, and the mic's picking you up. If you want the story to be broadcast to 12 people. Okay. Just letting them know.
Michigan, UC San Diego.
Fuck Michigan.
Fuck Michigan. All right, I'm with it. Texas Tech, Yale. All right, we got
Yale is so smart. Yale is so smart. I'm sure they know how to draw up a play.
Dude, they're gonna come out there on the free throw with a protractor.
Yeah.
Dude,
Compass are gonna get it done.
I'm with Yale. All right. Ole Miss, North Carolina. Now you live North Carolina.
I'm gonna go in North Carolina, for the shits and giggles.
All right. And then I know you're probably just gonna say Lipscomb just to piss me off.
Dude, here's the thing. Lipscomb is a funny ass college
It
name.
is.
That is all I'm gonna say.
So do we want to flip a coin on this one? Because I'm just gonna say Iowa State.
Let's say we go. All right, you already have Iowa State winning it all. Let's give it. Let's
I'm
give another
just
team a chance.
I'm just saying
Let's give
first.
another team another chance. Let's
All
give
right,
another team another chance.
we'll go Lipscomb
Let's
just for the
come.
cum.
Let's just call him Lipscomb. We'll call him Lipscomb. No,
Lips
you
covered
want
in
to call him
cum. All right.
Yeah, there you go.
Marquette, New Mexico. I like Marquette just because the name sounds like, different.
Sure.
Marquette, yeah.
Sure.
A
Yeah.
little bit of French, Cajun persuasion. Fuck Michigan. Doesn't matter if it's Michigan State. Fuck Michigan. So we'll go Bryant.
Hey, Kobe Bryant.
We're going to go Kobe Bryant. That's what we're playing for, man. All right.
The team full of Kobe Bryants.
Florida, Norfolk.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go Norfolk just because we have a Norfolk in Nebraska.
Yeah.
All right. Sick. You can suck on these nuts or Oklahoma.
UConn, suck on these dicks.
Suck on these dicks. All right. Memphis, Colorado State.
No, Colorado State.
All right. Fuck it. Maryland, Grand Canyon University. I like to see Maryland win on that one.
Grand Canyon was a very beautiful spot.
It was. But Maryland has a turtle as a fucking mascot.
A big turtle, too.
Yeah. I'm thinking
right,
we
you
go
got
with
me
the
sold.
turtle. Yeah.
You got me sold on it. It's a turtle.
Mizzou versus Drake. Drake has a bulldog as their mascot.
Here's the thing, though. Are you more of a Drake fan or are you more of a Kendrick fan?
Fuck.
Drake allegedly diddles kids.
Fuck Drake.
All I'm going to say. I was actually living really close to Wilmington.
Wilmington?
In, North Carolina.
Yeah. Are all your old UNC Wilmington fans popping out of the woodwork?
Oh, I'm sure they are.
So you're going to go Texas? You're going to go for the technical school or the hometown?
See, let me make sure this is actually Wilmington.
That you know of?
Yeah, it's in Wilmington, North Carolina.
We go North Carolina then?
That's how I want to lean.
What's that?
That's how I want to lean.
We'll send it. I'm going to say strictly fuck KU, and let's go with Arkansas. America explain. Why is this one not Kansas?
America explain.
And then for shits and gigs, let's just go UNO. All right?
Okay, I guess it's not super close, but nah, it's actually close enough. It's probably within an hour.
Uno over,
UNO.
all right.
UNO.
Duke versus Mount St. Mary's.
I don't know about you, but I'm not gonna mount a saint.
Me neither. Let's not mount any saints.
Yeah, let's go Duke.
Mississippi or Baylor?
Spell Mississippi.
Mississippi. MISSIPPI.
How do you spell it wrong and it's right in front of your face?
Because I can't speak either. Oregon or Liberty? Like
Liberty bibbity.
Liberty bibbity.
Bibbity bibbity.
Arizona or Akron?
Damn, fuck Ohio.
Fuck
Arizona.
Ohio. Arizona. BYU or Virginia College University?
I think it's no idea.
Or is it Vermont College University?
I have no idea. I have no idea where the fuck VCU is.
Let's go with the Mormons.
Oh, wait, did you say college university? What did
Virginia.
You say that
I said
acronym?
Virginia College or it's Vermont College University.
College university.
College University.
There's no way.
Or Christian.
Okay, Virginia Commonwealth University.
All right. Let's go with the Mormons.
Okay.
For Montana or Wisconsin against Montana, we got to go with our boy AJ Forbes.
He didn't play for that Montana.
Yeah, he did.
I thought it was a Montana like
It's the same Montana,
something,
I'm
but
fairly certain.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
All
the
right,
Grizz.
yeah, I didn't know.
St. Mary's or Vanderbilt. I'll be damned.
No one doing anything wrong to this Saint, so I think we should roll with them.
Yeah. And also, I'll be damned if I'll support one of the people that created the fucking what is it? God, I'm blanking on what it's called. Tom Kaczynski fucking hated it.
Tom Kaczynski?
Yeah.
Who the fuck's
The
Tom Kaczynski?
the fucking uh Unibomber.
His name's not Tom.
Is that Tom?
No, Ted.
Whatever.
His
Ted.
name is Ted. I was like, who the fuck Tom Kaczynski?
Ted Kaczynski.
Like, hold up. Hey, Josh. Matt was trying to tell me that the Unabomber's name was Tom Kaczynski. He said close.
I got the T in 3 letters right, all right?
Weren't you supposed to be a history major?
No, I was never a history major.
I thought you were talking about doing a history
I love
major.
history, but I'm also kind of drunk, all right?
Me? What do you mean?
No shot dog was ever a major of anything.
No, I'm not talking about Kaczynski. He's in college right now. He can get a history degree if he wants. He's in regular college though. Not a real university, but he's in a college.
Yeah. I'm only getting an associate's degree.
Yeah,
I'm not going to a real college until afterwards.
I got my diploma right there.
I know, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Hang on, hold up. We got to get
Liberal
the
arts transfer degree. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Alabama or Robert Morris. I like the actual name over Alabama.
I mean, the question is who's Robert Morris, but
Yeah, but it's an actual name.
he named
Yeah. He got a whole college named after him, so. What the fuck is SIUE?
Let me Google that.
Yeah.
SI. Okay. Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, in Edwardsville, Illinois.
Fuck Illinois.
50% graduation rate, but a 98% graduation or acceptance rate. Holy dog shit.
They just take anybody.
SIUE. Stop taking so many fucking bums in.
That's why you have a 50% graduation rate. All right, let's go Houston then. All right, we got the Battle of the Dogs. Gonzaga Bulldogs, Georgia Bulldogs. Which one you going? You going Georgia Dogs, the drunk Georgia Dogs fans?
Where the fuck even is Gonzaga?
I want to say Washington. Or Oregon.
I'll go with Georgia then.
We're going Georgia. We're to keep it in the South.
Spokane, Washington.
Oh, okay. I was right on the first one.
I trust yourself more. Except for when you're naming American terrorist groups.
Yeah, I know, right? All right. Clemson versus McNeese.
I like McNeese.
You like McNeese?
Yeah.
Purdue versus High Point. I mean, they have a whole gun named after them.
Yeah, I think, and you know how effective and
the shooters be,
utilized, utilized the High Point is in society.
Texas or Xavier versus Illinois. This one we got to take a gamble on.
So they haven't figured out which two teams are going to be in that
No.
spot.
So they have the first 4 games, which is like a bunch of teams that could potentially get in, but they're going to battle it out before they get into the actual dance.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
And they're playing probably right now.
I guess Xavier.
Well, we'll pick Texas Xavier and hope to God Xavier wins. Otherwise, it'd fuck
I
up the
don't know
whole
about
bracket.
you. I don't know about you. Brad Pitt looks mighty hunky
In
the
Troy?
movie.
All right, we're going
Yeah.
Troy.
Enough said.
Enough said. UCLA versus Utah State. We already picked one Mormon team. Did we double down?
We double down.
We double down.
Joseph A. Smith, I think is his name, is coming back, and he's carrying the golden plates or whatever, or something or other.
Out of his hat. And
Only he could read them. And then you know what? I know it's
I'm gonna go
not a popular opinion. I like the Wolford's mascot.
Same here.
I think it's cute.
Let's go with it.
Cute little guy.
All right, so we're back up here in the South, the Southern Conference. We got Alabama State against Louisville.
Alabama.
Alabama, you're keeping it Bama.
They first in the alphabet.
UC San Diego versus Yale. I mean, the smart kids prevail. Or is it all right? Lips covered in cum against North Carolina.
You know those guys on Instagram where they're like, "Sell me a pin."
Yeah.
Tell me lips covered in cum. Sell me them. Let me know what. Why should I invest in that product?
All right, so you got the Tar Heels, right? Who wants their heels covered in tar? Wouldn't you rather
Well, you know
see?
the
Wouldn't you rather?
Historical? All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Wouldn't you rather see lips covered in cum over a tarry heel?
Well, when you put it like that. And you pick whatever team you choose, and I'll know from there.
All right, so we got the Cajun Persuasion or Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe
Bryant. They always be airing it out.
All right, so we got Norfolk, Nebraska State.
That's definitely where they're coming out
from.
from.
You can suck on this dick.
I don't know.
You can suck on this dick.
Okay, that's fine.
All
Hopefully them and Lipscomb can meet together in the finals.
All right. We got the Rams versus the Turtles. The big-ass Turtles. Who do you think's winning that fight? A big-ass turtle versus a ram.
I mean, if I imagine those two animals fighting, I think a turtle would whoop up on a turtle any day.
A turtle would whoop up on a turtle?
So I've had a couple to drink. I think a ram would whoop up on a turtle any day.
But you got to remember, it's a big-ass turtle.
Yeah, but it's not like it's got a gun or anything. Like, it's just got
no, but it's got its own shell. Like, think about it. Like,
but dude, imagine over time that ram is like walking back and like
really giving them the business.
You.
All right, you convinced me. All right, Wilmington against Mizzou. I can't make a funny joke out of this one, so.
Yeah, who cares?
All right, so the top of the Zen can, Mizzou. Bottom of the Zen can, UNC Wilmington. Top of the can. All right, we got Mizzou. We got America Explained versus Uno. You're picking Uno?
I'm going Uno.
All right. All right. Duke versus Mississippi State.
MISSISSSPPI space ST.
We going with the land of the brave, Liberty, or Arizona?
Bibbity bibbity.
Liberty Bibbity.
Bibbity bibbity.
The Mormons over the Grizzlies.
So if I imagine a Mormon and a big old bear walking into the room,
But you got to remember, the Mormon has his 13,000 sons and daughters and his 20 wives fighting against one grizzly.
one bear. You know what? When you put it like that, that's always the argument. 1,000,000 lions versus the sun.
We got St. Mary versus Robert Morris.
What I would say is, I think in most cases,
God prevails.
any man would whoop up on any woman in basketball. But with her being a part of the clergy, I'm going St. Mary's.
All right, St. Mary's. Houston versus Georgia.
I said a Georgia.
I'll follow you through. All right, we got McNeese versus the High Point. I mean, the High
Give me
Point.
the blicky.
The Blicky. All right.
Give me the blicky.
All right, we either got Texas and Xavier versus Troy, and you convinced me on how mighty
Still
handsome.
smitten.
Yeah.
Still smitten on Brad Pitt.
And then we got the Mormons versus Wofford, and I want to lean Wofford.
I like Wolford too.
All right. So we got the Sweet 16 now. Got Alabama State versus the smart kids, the nerds.
I think the smart kids are gonna make it, but I feel like this next round is their last one where they're winning, and I'll explain to it next one.
All right.
But I think
Lips covered in cum.
I think this is where Kobe Bryant, I think this is where he crash lands.
Yeah.
This is the end of his Cinderella
The
story.
allegations got too rough, and the lips covered in cum ended up winning. All right. Now, you can suck on this dick versus Colorado State, the Rams.
I think if you asked a wolf or a husky or whatever their mascot is,
Dude, they'd murder a fucking ram.
and if you ask them to suck on this dick to a ram, they're just gonna go bah. So I think the Huskies got it, or the Yukon, whoever they
You
are.
can suck on this dick. All right, we got Mizzou versus Uno. I'm a lean Uno.
All right, let's go.
Liberty Bibbity against
Bibbidi Bibbidi.
MISSISSIPPI space ST.
Libbity bibbity.
Liberty Bibbity. All right, do the Mormons beat the Catholics?
The question is on its time itself.
Who has Rome? All right. Who has Vatican City?
I believe the Mormons say that Missouri is the Holy Land or something like that. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, but the Crusades are pretty. Do you want the Catholics rolling up fucking 50,000 deep to Missouri? And that's not including.
Well, here's the thing. It takes only one Mormon son to come out and accuse the whole St. Mary's of maybe a little bit of misdoing. You know what I mean? To cancel their whole careers. So.
But one's holy.
One has the what did someone
The
say
gold
once?
tablets or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were we picking here?
You're a Catholic. You choose.
I'm gonna lean the favoritism. All right.
If you in an average Mormon got into a fight, who do you think would win?
God will prevail. I will. All right. Is the bulldog gunned down by the High Point?
I think the blicky gets it. If a fucking bulldog came running at me in the middle of the night, I think we know who's walking away.
All right, we got Brad Pitt looking mighty smitten versus Wofford.
Hey, what do you like staring at more? Do you like the little cute puppy, or do you like looking at Brad Pitt more?
Dude, Brad Pitt.
Yeah, we're not escaping the allegations on this one.
All right, do the smart kids.
Here's the thing: when the smart kids see
Lips
these
covered in
whores
cum.
with their lips covered in cum, they're not gonna know what to do. They're gonna be shaking in their fucking
In their
boots.
fucking pocket protectors.
Uh,
All right, you can suck on this dick. I think beats Uno.
I think so.
Just because I want to see the matchup. All right, Liberty Bibbity versus the Catholics, and I think Liberty Bibbity is gonna win this one.
I think so too. The liberty and justice for all.
All right, we got the
Are we
high
gonna
point.
Kill Brad Pitt with the high point.
He
Or
can only
is
be
it
shot in
what if
the
high
Achilles.
Point, here's the thing. What if the high point finally jams? Finally jams.
The high point is known for jamming.
I think it finally jams, and Brad Pitt with his big-ass
Muscular,
sword,
with his chiseled body,
his hot body.
and him screaming, "Hector!"
But
outside
here's
the.
what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about UConn. I think they're just empty. They're so empty right now. They've
Dude,
expressed.
and also, which part would you rather see? You can suck on this dick, or the lips covered in cum?
And that's the thing. I think they're like, I'm done. You know, you can suck dick all day, but I think after 3 blowjobs, you're just like,
Yeah,
tapping out.
I'm done, dog. They made it this far.
It's
I mean,
raw.
good performance, keeping it up. You know, hold up.
Oh yeah.
Good performance on the sucking dick. And then we got Liberty Bibbity versus Brad Pitt, and I'm thinking Liberty Bibbity loses to Brad Pitt.
I think so, and I think Troy takes it all, because I think any of these winches would get down on their knees
Oh, 100%
for prime Brad Pitt,
for prime Brad Pitt.
and I think the total points will be 69.
All right, we're hitting the submit button.
We have Troy winning it all.
Brad Pitt winning it all. That's
Brad
the
Pitt
important.
winning it all.
Brad Pitt winning it
Yeah.
all. All right.
What happened?
I call that a good bracket right there. Solid
Yeah,
bracket.
if you don't have that already put into your list, man, go ahead and lock it in. The tournament doesn't start until
Tomorrow.
yeah, which I bet you this episode's not going to be uploaded by tomorrow.
It should be uploaded by tomorrow.
Okay, all right.
I mean, if you want me to upload the video of you sending me the...
You don't have to do that.
Okay.
I don't care. I don't care.
All right. That's pretty fucking solid right there. We're already almost an hour right there, so...
You want to talk at all about football and the free agencies and...
Before we do that, I want to
Okay.
glance over how far have you gotten, because I'm looking at the tracker right now. How far have you gotten in our movie?
Okay. So that's what, next... Is it this weekend?
It's
Next
not
weekend.
next weekend. Not
Next
this
weekend.
upcoming one. Yeah, the next one.
Yeah. I'm accurate on what I have written down. So here's the issue. Happy Gilmore, Major Leagues, I have already seen. I just
Yep.
want to rewatch those movies so I
Yep.
can have
So-
a better understanding with it.
I actually watched Happy Gilmore for the first time last night.
It's pretty good.
I liked it. Yeah, we won't
It's
go.
definitely. Well, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
We won't
yeah.
go into it.
We'll
Yeah,
save
we'll
it
go
for
into
the
it.
actual.
Did you see that they have released the trailer for Happy Gilmore 2?
Yes. I don't think they
I
should have made
wish-
a. I don't think they should have made a sequel.
I wish if they were to, they should have done it earlier so that Apollo Creed could be in there, and
Yep.
he's not in there. 'Cause
Nope.
He's a big role in that movie.
He is a big role in that movie. But what I have left is Southpaw and The Blind Side. Those are the last two that I have
whenever
left. And
you're
then,
killing it.
yeah, I'm doing it mainly just because March Madness is coming up, and I need to lock in on March Madness. Stay up the track with our tracker, making sure Brad Pitt makes it all the way, or Iowa State.
Or Iowa State,
yeah,
the only two logical options to make it in and
yeah,
win.
or Uno. You know,
Or Uno. You never know.
you never know. You
with
never know.
Uno.
Who knows if I'm spending all my money on tickets and I'm going to be broke and I can't pay rent.
Wait.
All right, so tell me this: if Troy makes it in, are we going there just for the memes, or are we going to at least watch it together for the memes?
We can watch it together.
Okay.
Yeah, we can definitely watch it together. Going, I don't even. Where the fuck would it be at? Where would it be at?
That's a good question, and I don't know where it's actually going to be at. Where?
If it's like somewhere like Madison Square Garden, hell no.
Okay.
Hell no. Now, if it's somewhere local-ish,
Define local-ish.
one plane ride, I think.
One plane ride.
Yeah, like a there and back, not
Okay.
like a you got to go to Atlanta and Atlanta airport to wherever.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can live with that. We'll check up on the next one. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. And then also another thing coming up too, April 3rd, we got our picks the same day. I feel like it's the same day that we're watching the stream. Or is it just after? It is just after. Do you want to save that week's episode, the first one in the April, for April 3rd so we can do our draft?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Whenever like the day or the day we're doing the stream is when I was gonna get hard yeses and nos from people, so that we can make the jerseys, and then
I know
next week episode will.
I know my buddy Ryan put in for that day off. Still waiting to
Yeah, I
hear
know
back.
a lot of people have been putting in days off. Yeah.
Yep. So, all right, sick. That kind of covers clearing house on or fucking. So now we get into ESPN for all the free agency stuff.
There's been a lot in these last 2 weeks, man. I think I would like to stroke myself for a little bit, and I would like to say that I was right about the 49ers.
Yep,
That
you were right.
They had that 2 years to get it done. They didn't get it done. And look, you see all these people, and they did nothing with it at all.
Nope.
Maybe did they even get a one playoff game?
They had an NFC championship.
Oh, okay. You know what? Yeah. Sorry,
they made it to the Super
They
Bowl.
lost in the,
Yep.
They lost in the Super Bowl. Sorry, I completely.
Yeah.
blew
So it's
that
3
out.
years, not 2 years, but we'll glance
Yes.
over that one.
But yeah, I mean, didn't get done, and now you're seeing the whole team just gone.
Gone. Yeah. It's
Brock Purdy, I think you're going to see Brock Purdy potentially. I mean, I
Either-
wouldn't be surprised if you see.
he either
I wouldn't be
crashes.
surprised if you see that guy lose his job, man.
So this is where I'm seeing it, right? Because I definitely agree. He's lost a lot of his talent. Debo's eating honey buns.
And even with Debo being big, like here's the thing: you could get on him about, hey, we gotta lose weight, because I think he just lost motivation. He was sick and he was injured in and out, and I think he realized, like, yeah, no, this just isn't gonna happen. And
Now, if Christian McCaffrey, his magical surgeries out of country end up healing his knees and he turns into Terminator, him and Debo, yeah, fuck it. Send it all the way. George Kittle, they're in talks to extending his contract as well. But who's going to play defense and who's going to block?
well, here's the thing: George Kittle's getting old, man. He's
He
getting
is.
real old for a tight end.
For a tight end, but we also saw Gronk. Yes, Gronk is a once-in-a-generation tight end.
I say two completely different guys. Completely different guys.
But I'm saying we've seen it before.
Sure, we've seen it before, but I
Who
think
knows?
if anybody asked who's a better tight end, the only time you would get answers that George Kittle would be a better tight end than Gronk is if you went down to San Francisco and you asked those cats.
Yeah,
Everybody else in the United States would easily say Gronk is the best tight end or better than tight ends.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then, like, since you were talking about stroking yourself off about the 49ers, I'm going to lean into the Steelers and all that shit that's been going on. DK Metcalf, solid pickup, but who's going to throw the ball? Like, we kind of talked
I agree.
about this. Like, we have
I
no
agree.
one that's going to throw the ball. We have made great picks up in the free agency, but we can't pick up a quarterback. We got Freemason Rudolph and Skylar Thompson.
Yeah.
It's like, unless Freemason Rudolph fucking went through some sort of Zen voodoo magic bullshit where he's hypnotized and becomes Tom Brady.
The thing I'll say, I would love a Mason Rudolph revenge story where he just starts tearing up.
Dude.
He's like, I know the system. It ain't gonna happen because guess what? You also got rid of Najee Harris.
Yep.
So you got no one that's gonna run the
You
ball.
got Jalen Warren, but that's it.
Like I said, you got because here's the thing, even when you had Najee Harris and Warren, like yeah, they were okay,
Yeah.
but amongst the league, I mean, like I don't even know.
And then
where
you
they
have
rank,
Arthur
like,
Smith, who's a running heavy coordinator.
Yeah.
And you can't
And
run
what
the
draft
fucking
picks?
ball.
What drop? Do you guys have any in the first round that are?
We have one, and I think it's like somewhere in the middle or late.
And that's the thing too.
Late-ish,
like,
middle
it's
late.
not a good QB draft class.
No.
And I'm still a believer that if you draft a QB, it is not in your best interest
To start him?
to have that guy
Fuck no.
start right away.
Fuck no. And on it, like, all right,
So
so
Jaden Daniels is an outlier. Bo
Did-
Nix is an outlier.
did they trade away Justin Fields? Did I miss something? Or they still have Justin
He
Fields?
signed. I think he signed a 1-year deal with Pittsburgh, and then he moved on to the Jets. He's going to be the starting.
He's going to be for the
Jets.
starting. Okay. All right, cool. Because I was going to say Justin
Which
Fields.
honestly, good for him, man. If he got overlooked in Pittsburgh, let's be honest, he got overlooked a little bit.
Yep, he definitely did.
And I think we were a part of that too. I think we bet we're like, hey, let's see how Russ does. And I think if they would have done that kind of weird combo things that they've done in a couple of games,
Yeah.
where it's like, hey, we're gonna let Russ run or
Throw the ball,
run a QB
Russ.
for a little bit, throw the ball, and then bring in Justin Fields to do kind of the RPO or
Yeah, option play.
just
Yeah.
straight up. Yeah. I think that was a good move, and then they just didn't
And
utilize it enough.
Also, those games that they did that, they won those games. And it's just like, you guys see the product, and you see it selling. Fucking keep on selling it. Fucking go with it. Don't get rid of it. Unless somehow, like, I mean, our GM last year was wheeling and dealing, fucking stealing fucking people. He's done it a little bit, but not much here. Like, honestly, I would have loved to see if Sam Darnold could have showed up to Pittsburgh. Like,
What?
if we had gotten Sam Darnold in Pittsburgh.
Here's the thing, man. I think, and one of the things I think with Tomlin is maybe not with Tomlin, but I think you guys need a quarterback who is gritty, like
Yes.
Ben Roethlisberger, and there's just not too many tough, gritty quarterbacks who are big, mean, just beefy boys who can take hits. They're not super mobile. They're just there to throw bombs. And I mean, if you're looking at George Pickens, that's what I mean, he's always, he's really fast. He's got pretty decent hands. And with DK Metcalf too, man, I think those two are going to be okay together. But, like.
Dude, they're going to be a cage match fighting DBs and safeties.
And Prime Youth is, he's a pretty, middle of the road tight end, and when you need him, he's there.
He's a solid tight end, yeah.
And I think they should have tried to do more to try to get a quarterback. And I know that when Matt Stafford was on the block, or maybe not on the block, but he was talking about readjusting his contract. There was talks of him going there, or which I don't think he would have gone there. I think he would have. It was either going to be the Raiders or the Jets. We're going to pay him probably the most amount of money. I don't
Yep.
think the Steelers were going to do it, but I think that would have been a great pickup for you guys. Would have been Matt Stafford, a tough, gritty quarterback who can still throw bombs. But I mean,
There's
didn't
not a
seem
lot
like
of
y'all
quarterbacks
guys.
anymore. Joe Flacco, fuck it. All right, like pull him out of
What
retirement.
the fuck?
He's
He's still around, man.
still around. He could throw bombs.
Him, Rodgers, and Russ are the last quarterbacks that are still kind of doing visits between the Giants, the Jets, and I think Pittsburgh. I think those three and they're still kind of running around.
This is a joke hot take. So, but Jay Cutler, all right, get him out from whatever construction site he's on, ripping cigs. He's a gritty fucking throws bombs.
Okay.
Get him out there.
I'm gonna say that, but yeah, I think you guys are cooked this year. I think this
Dude.
is
Yeah.
easily I think this is an easy take and an easy bet to take that this will probably be the first year in a long time that the Steelers will have a losing season.
Now, me being a diehard Steelers fan, you can see my terrible towel. I'm trying to figure it out. All right, terrible towel.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. And my signed
chain.
Steelers hat with James Harrison, Troy Polamalu, fucking Hines Ward, right? Legendary players. I'm going to say we still get a winning season, but barely. Barely.
Man, hold up.
Barely. All right.
Hold up.
We scratch through it. We fight nitty gritty. But we ain't getting in a wild card spot. No, we're not getting any sort of playoff talk.
Okay, so I'm pulling up their upcoming season. And I want you to sit there. Okay. So this is just their home teams, and you tell me win or lose, all right? Ravens.
Win. Every day. Fuck the Ravens. All right.
At home, potentially.
Yeah.
It's a chance. The Bengals.
Win. At home.
The Browns.
Win. At home.
Okay. The Bills.
Mm.
No, go ahead.
My dad's rolling around the ashes right there. As I say lose. But
The Packers.
win. Easy win.
Okay, the Colts. I think
Easy win.
the Dolphins.
Duh. Tua who?
The Vikings.
They got rid of Sam Darnold, yeah.
Actually, now I'm kind of looking at it, you guys do have an easy ass schedule. Seattle.
Win.
I think that's a win.
Yeah.
All right, away. This is where I think you're gonna run into most of your issues.
Yeah, probably.
Baltimore.
The
The Bengals.
actually, no, they don't have a
Browns.
defense. Fuck them. We win in we win in Cincinnati. Browns who?
Chicago.
Fuck
You're
Chicago.
not interested to see how this new Bears team's gonna be?
No.
All right. How about when you guys go and play Detroit?
Lose.
Chargers.
Win.
Patriots.
Who do they have? Nobody.
And the Jets. Yeah, I mean, now that I'm looking at it, you guys have an easy ass schedule. Can you at least agree that you have an easy ass schedule?
Goddamn right we do.
That's an easy schedule.
Freemason Rudolph can beat half of
now,
those
I
teams.
still wouldn't be surprised if y'all still either 500 or just below 500.
Yeah, but like for winning season, it's 8-7 or 8-7, right? Yeah,
I believe you're right. Yeah.
I can see an 8-7 season.
Just good enough.
No wild card spot, just good enough.
Just good enough.
Maybe third in the AFC North, but we ain't getting that wild card spot now.
Yeah. If we're going to switch to the Rams. I think the Rams actually have a really good chance of winning their division.
The Rams do. Yes, they lost Cooper Kupp, which is.
But we picked up Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was sitting here and I was worried about. I was like, damn, you're going to get rid of a veteran wide receiver
You
to
talk
help teach
this.
Puka.
I'm gonna take a leak.
Okay, go ahead. We pick up Devontae Adams, who I'm not going to say is the savior. I'm not saying he's going to do X, Y, and Z. I still think he can do it. I'm just a little skeptical of how he's going to be. You just don't know how the chemistry is going to be. He was a little bit of a diva when he was in the Raiders. I know he had Jimmy Garoppolo as a quarterback, yada, yada, yada. We picked up Witherspoon again. He re-signed with us. We picked up, so if you watch, Brenda Song had I don't know what the fuck she was at and doing, but they asked her like, oh, and she knows ball, and she's complaining about we don't have a run stopper. Well, guess what? We picked up Puna 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 Ford from the Chargers. That guy's a run stopper. That guy's huge. We let go of Michael Hoyt. That one sucked to see. I like Michael Hoyt. He was a good run, or a good linebacker. Um, let's see here. Matt Stafford's back. Ah, man, what were a couple of the signings that we did? Man, we would have done this episode last week. I would still remember. But yeah, I think we're fixing a lot of those issues. I know what did we trade for an O lineman? Or we picked up an O lineman, and we still got a first round pick. And I mean, our GM is amazing with the draft picks. I think we're doing really well. The Seattle 49ers, the only team we got worried about is the Cardinals. That's the only team that's really worth looking at in our division. So big clothing on dog family.
Oh yeah. Well, they're tiny
Yeah.
dogs, and it's cold outside. She doesn't have a lot of fur.
Does
She's
she
from.
like being picked up?
Yeah, she loves it. She loves
If
me.
you hear the noises that I'm hearing, it doesn't sound like she loves being picked up.
She can't breathe. She has to mouth breathe. All right.
Hmm. Okay.
She's got a fucked up palate.
The diaper.
Yeah, she has Cushing's too, so she can't control her bladder either. She's
How
adorable.
old is this dog?
Like 6.
Okay.
5. Young, like middle ground.
Yeah.
And she has a favorite toy. She has a favorite toy that can't be washed. And she only bites it in one spot, so there's a definite stain in that one spot. And she will fight any dog for her toy. And she's adorable, and she's my poppy.
You wanna talk about anything else?
Geno Smith going to the Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
What?
He's back with Pete Carroll. Max
But it's
Crosby signed that monster deal.
Yeah, but it's the Raiders.
Amir Abdullah. Hunter Renfro retired.
Who?
Hunter Renfro. He was a wide receiver for the
Oh
Raiders.
yeah.
He's that white guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got bombs from Derek Carr.
From Derek Vehicle.
Yeah.
What's going on with the Falcons so far? I haven't seen much happening with them.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard a lot from them either. No, they've been making moves and signing people. I couldn't tell you any big names.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I haven't been following them as much. And like I was telling them earlier, it's like we would have done this episode last week when all the big signings and all the big trades were happening. I could talk about it, but since we're 2 weeks out and I don't have my notes on me, I'm like, I don't really remember what's going on anymore.
But yeah, I mean, most of the big stuff that's been happening, it has been around what Pittsburgh's doing and / not doing.
And not doing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are like, oh shoot, DK
DK Metcalf.
and then it's like, so who's gonna throw DK the ball?
Mhm.
Especially when you saw DK's demand, I want to go somewhere warm.
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. I want a stable QB situation. Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
And I want to be a Super Bowl contender.
Pittsburgh. I think my camera might have just died, so it's a good time to call it.
I think you're right.
All right. Thank you guys for
It's a
joining.
great shot of you.
Pittsburgh. Thank you guys for joining the MattCast podcast. I am Matty Light, joined by my co-host, Matty J. And we'd like to thank you guys all for coming.